Welcome back to Range Day.
That's right. This has been a lot of fun. This I actually had in my pocket. I've been carrying this around a lot, and I really wanted to break it out because, number one, I love this gun. I have carried this so much. It's a Ruger LCP Max. Holds, I believe, 13 rounds, 12 or 13 rounds. Awesome sights. Love this gun. Love the heck out of this gun. You are carrying it cocked and locked. There's no manual safety. There is a trigger safety, but just love this gun. But because it's got the rocking block, we were just shooting the Browning and the Beretta 380s, the Cheetahs. And this little tiny gun, I think, has less recoil than that big giant one because of the rocking block that of course, John Browning invented. And just fantastic little thing.
I have been surprised by plastic guns before, so I don't want to get my hopes up too high on this because I'm usually not a big fan of the plastic.
I'm not either.
But
I'm really not either, especially one to be carrying around because this has been in my pocket for about 6 months now. It's just something about this. It's different. It's very unique. I think it's the size, a little tiny gun. Yeah.
You know, your first Ruger LCP 2 in 380 that you carried for quite a while and reviewed, and finally I think you traded up for a carry in a 9mm instead of the 380 or something, and you actually traded that to our shop, and my husband saw that and goes, "I want that gun." So and I said, so yes, my husband did the adoption papers, and so your old 380 has been adopted to my family, has been carried, and is very, very well loved by my husband. Me, I'm kind of like, meh.
Not a big fan. The reason I got rid of the LCP 2 is I wasn't a big fan of carrying it cocked and locked without a safety. I just wasn't a big fan of that. So I always carried the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, which also was, I believe, 10 rounds, or 7 rounds, I think, 7 or 8 rounds.
6 plus 1. They do make a little extended one that might give you 7 in 1.
But I just liked that better than the LCP2, but man, once they loaded this thing with the 12 rounds, and I got past the safety issue. I just thought I'll get past that because that is fantastic. So
I have noticed that these do have a wider profile. These things, they're packing some junk in the trunk.
That's right.
Right back here. They got some booty in the back.
It is. It's a bigger grip frame than.
And that is one of the things I don't like about the smaller single stacks is that they feel concaved in the palm instead of having that.
Little ones,
yeah, so
And the sights are fantastic. They're really nice. For a tiny gun, I was really surprised.
I noticed that. That looks like a tritium sight with a nice white ring around it, and then just all black out on the rear.
Rear sights, yeah. For a tiny gun, typically tiny gun means tiny sights. I like that Ruger did this with
They put some thought into that, I think. Yeah. Now, I don't know if every single model comes with these fancy front sights.
It's also got some serrations on the front, too.
That's nice, too. I like not feeling like my hands are going to slide off the gun when I'm shooting it. Just to let you know, I get really nervous when I'm on the range firing anything, really. And so to be able to hold on to something while you're shaken to death and your nerves are jello.
There's not a lot to this. It's a dinky little gun. I always describe it as it's about the size of a deck of cards.
It really is.
So to hold, which I believe is 12 plus 1.
It's those kid-size Go Fish cards at this
10
point.
10 plus 1, 10 plus 1.
I think they do make an extended magazine on those now. If it's certain states have compliance laws that they do have to follow, which would limit the capacity. If your state does not have a capacity restriction, then you can probably get the 12-round magazines. But if it's one of the states that are kind of limiting, then 10 rounds is where you'll be.
Those pesky limiting states.
You know what?
I like to call them limiting the standard capacity magazines to lower capacity. All right, well, let's shoot this thing.
cardboard, because now we have 3 holes in cardboard instead of 2. Low. Still low. Dead center. Do that again. A little low. A little high.
It's kind of hard to figure out where it's going.
That was way low. That brass was everywhere.
Got hit in the head.
You totally nailed the guy in the nuts, too. If this had been a human target, you would have nailed the guy in the nuts.
But what was so amazing, there's just no recoil to that. There's so little recoil. I can't wait till you try this. Yeah, I'm not real pleased with how that shot, but I couldn't quite figure out how it was hit, to be honest.
You're hitting it with finesse and style, the same way you do everything else in life.
Yeah, I was really low.
Okay.
9, 10 maybe?
So this one right here and that one right there were the only 2 pre-existing holes in the backer board before we started.
9, 10.
Yeah, because these 2 just kissed right down there at the bottom.
I'd like to do that again.
Yeah, we could definitely do that again.
Because I was kind of just trying to figure it out. Really.
Yeah. There you go.
I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere else.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were the only ones. So that's
one. Yeah, okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like it.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, I totally.
Yeah, you gotta
hate that.
aim there. Yeah.
Aim a little high. Let's figure this out. 10 rounds.
Aim high.
Aim high.
You're kind of the top of the circle.
So I'm clearly only going to be able to get 2 fingers on this, and then my pinky finger is just this kind of afterthought down here at the end. I don't mind that. Some people really hate that.
You have tiny little slide release too.
What slide release?
Right?
What slide release? Yeah, that's not bad. That's actually, I can tell you shot this.
It's been shot a few times.
This has been used. That was nice and easy, and it's been carried too. Okay. Let's see here. Aim high. I think I aimed too high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I think it's
6.
down and to the right. I think it was
Oh.
real low.
You
Yeah,
think I hit
yeah.
low?
Because there were only 3 at the bottom. Now there's 4.
Well, heck. Let's take this halfway up then. Am I on paper? I don't think so.
I can't see it.
I don't think I'm hitting.
Oh,
paper.
you're down and to the left. It's still low.
Okay. You are so right. Aim high.
There you go.
Oh, that's depressing.
Oh, you got a malfunction there too.
Mag out.
That's the first malfunction I've had in that gun.
Ah, well, there we go. Leave it to me. So I know exactly what that was.
What was it?
I have blistered my finger
From that little
pinching between this blade and the trigger. It got caught in there. That hurt. That was not fun.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna have a little blood blister right there later in the day, but that's not a big deal. I already know my dislike with those triggers, but yeah, I felt that pinch on the last one. So.
Well, we don't have to keep going with that.
I
could leave it at it pinched your finger and you didn't like it.
I'm gonna keep trying this.
All right.
Now this is personal. Dang it. Dang
Pinch
it,
my
Ruger.
finger.
All right. We're gonna get rid of this.
There you go.
And I quit.
What'd you think of the recoil compared to the fixed barrel like on the Beretta?
Okay, this one does have less recoil. This one does not hurt right back through here in the hand. This one
Pinched the crud out of your finger?
is miserable on my trigger finger. And
Interesting.
this is
I know that's a case for a lot of people. I have not ran into that, but I know what you're talking about.
I think
it's common.
this is just a personal complaint, and this is not what everyone else is going to experience at all. This is just one individual's unique personal experience with one individual serial number that's out there. Your mileage will totally vary on this, and your comments are gonna light up with people that are like, I love it, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then there's gonna be more people that go, oh, it's trash, I had one, I couldn't wait to throw it in the garbage disposal.
That's probably the case with all guns,
awful.
is my guess. Yeah.
So yeah, you do have people who have absolutely positive glowing reviews, and then you have other people that are like, well, okay. This one, I am so not proud of this one.
Well, we all know you shoot better than that. That's a tough one to figure out. That little gun is tough to figure out. I think once you figure it out, it's nice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I lost that one round.
Well, you lost
so
that
I
one because of
had 9
misfire.
rounds.
Yeah.
I got 7 of the 9
failure
on paper,
feed.
and everything else was, because I think we only had 5.
Yeah, because I
1,
think
2,
this
3,
is
4.
one of yours. And that one. And then that one.
Yeah, I got some that are.
But generally, I mean, what'd you think overall? Like, as far as just a pocket carry,
As a pocket
like
carry
as far as just
goes?
sticking a tiny little gun in your pocket,
As a tiny pocket
Not
carry
for
gun goes.
accuracy necessarily, but
Well, I want it to be accurate.
well, it's hard though in a little tiny gun. What'd you think of the accuracy? I mean, what'd you think of it generally, as far as accuracy, coming out of a tiny 380?
I could use a lot more practice. I think
felt similar.
I have this delightful suspicion that if you took all human operational error out of it and just put that gun in a bench rest vise and had a mechanical trigger pull on there, that it would have a much better grouping than a human being trying to get comfortable on there. And I loved the sights. I really loved the sights. I did appreciate the width of the grip, the palm swell in that. That has...
Way better in the old.
Oh, it's so nice.
At least about a 1/4 inch thicker.
Oh, that's nicer. For a pocket gun,
Yeah.
there's nothing to, that is so light.
It's just dinky. Well, and to hold 10+1.
It is so light.
Something that I noticed too is that I shot it the first time. That was the first time I put it on paper. I'd shot at steel a lot, but not on paper, and I didn't like the results. And then when I tried again, I did much better. So I think there's definitely practice can go a long way with this thing.
Your small pocket carry guns, and this is a major thing. the fellas always want their ladies to carry, and they always want to get them something small. It'll fit in her purse because her purse is only this big, so she needs something that's small enough to fit in her purse. Well, shoot, the purse is the first thing somebody's going to target and run off with.
Right.
If they're going to target my purse, I don't want them to get my gun too. What in the heck? That's kind of counterintuitive.
Right.
I'd put it on myself. Yeah, take the purse. Leave me alone. So they go to something small, not realizing that it takes more effort and more practice. And with something that small, they're not always comfortable. So nobody's going to want to practice with something that's not comfortable, that pinches their fingers, or another thing you really have to look out for on these. May I?
Yeah.
So the grip on these is so important. And because it does have a tendency to want to move on you, and this is a very, very small, lightweight object, I have seen, please do not be the person that does this, but I have seen go, well, what you need to do, sweetheart, is you just put your hand right over the back there and you hold it down. You hold your wrist down, or you hold it down right up there. Are you kidding? Look at this. If you have something back here, it's gonna just turn your other hand to hamburger. Don't do that. You gotta find some way to grip toward the front up here. It's not a teacup. You're not having tea with the queen. You do have to put some sort of grip up here, and usually it's like you want to push up here and yank it back here to kind of really lock it into place. That's kind of not the easiest thing to do. It's definitely going to require practice. I don't think I would put in the time and the effort required to get good with this.
I find it valuable too, just because I carry it all the time. Because I've carried this more than any other gun in the last 6 months I have. But just because it's so, it comes with a pocket holster, and I mean, you just stick it in your pocket, that's the end of the story. It's great. Very light. You don't even know you have it. As well as it's summer, it's hot. It's nice to have something small like that. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I definitely want to keep practice on this.
If you're comfortable with it and you will practice with it, that's the most important part. It doesn't matter what size the gun is. It doesn't matter what the caliber of the gun. It's just that you like it, right, and that you will practice to carry it. Not what you're buying someone else to practice and carry with, not what somebody else bought you thinking that, oh, your preference is exactly the same as theirs. You're going to have to do your own research on these. It's very important, no matter what you pick, to actually take it out and practice with it. And shooting steel is different than shooting paper, and
it is. It makes a big difference.
When you pattern on paper, like, you're gonna see every place your shot goes. And you're, yeah, I could use a bit more practice with it.